Hello and welcome to today's talk. It's good to see you and I hope you're doing well. I once attended a meeting of church leaders where it just so happened that all who were in attendance were either Baptist or Anglican. Over lunch we fell to chatting about our different denominations. It was eye-opening because each group saw the good things in the other person's denomination and wanted all of those, but didn't see that there were also problems. It's the standard thing of always seeing the grass as greener on the other side of the fence. At the end of the conversation, I think everyone there was pretty glad that they were where they were. It's very easy only to see our faults when we're looking from the inside out. Recently, I was pointed in the direction of a video by Brian McLaren. He is seen as one of the leading thinkers about what comes next for the church as we grapple with what has been called the end of Christendom. What he's got to say isn't particularly new, and I had heard it a few years ago, but it was good to be reminded of it. He's not an Anglican, so has the perspective of someone looking in, and it's interesting as to what he sees as some of our strengths. There are many things that he and I would differ on, but I found these 4 points interesting for reflection. I'm going to paraphrase him for the first one, but I don't think I'm misrepresenting him. As a denomination, we, the Anglicans, are old. We have our beginnings in the 1530s when Henry VIII split with Rome. But even before that, the church in England sat loose to the Pope's authority because it kind of sat on the edge of the world. Our age means that we have liturgies and insight which predate what is known as the modern era, which began to emerge in the 1700s and is generally seen to be on the wane. What this means is that our way of doing things leaves room for mystery and experience dating back into our beginnings. McLaren links this history to his second point. As I said, the British Isles on the edge of Western Europe. Therefore, our foundations are those of outsiders on the edge. That's where the church is probably going to be in the future, so our roots can help us, McLaren says. Personally, I find that one a bit of a stretch, but it's worth thinking about. His next point is that we allow people space to differ within our denomination. We don't all have to believe the same things or do things in the same way. The difference between high church and low church, for example. We're also liturgical, McLaren says, and this is also helpful. It focuses people's minds into areas which are important and leads us towards the discovery of meaning and beauty. There's also participation. Congregations are not really merely receivers of information. We speak and join in. In fairness, McLaren also highlights 4 aspects of the Anglican Church which are not helpful in our present circumstances, but I'm not going to point to them here. I could also point to other positive things that I see as an insider, but my purpose in this talk is to show us that people from the outside can often see things about us which we cannot see ourselves. How do we use the gifts God has given us to further his kingdom? Once again, thank you for listening. Tonight is the weekly litany at 6 o'clock. I hope you might be able to join us for that. But in the meantime, God bless and stay safe.